My name is Brad Austin. I've been into pretty much whitetail hunting since I was about 17 years old. I would guess I'd say I've been pretty lucky. I've got a pretty good collection on the wall, but my oldest son, Dayton, has been on me for a couple years. And so he was finally old enough that I could keep his attention span for longer than about an hour. So we actually took him on a couple turkey hunts just to see how he would handle sitting and being still and being quiet and having no cell phone. So after a couple successful runs with that, we decided it was ready for him to try his first youth hunt this year. We did a lot of practicing, so we started him up close. He shot 25 yards. I went to the extent on the anatomy side of things of letting him shoot an actual old 3D archery target, and with a small steel plate on it just to show the vitals. That got him used to seeing a deer in a scope, to see what does it look like, what about this angle, what about that angle, and just let him shoot. And then we moved him to 50, we moved him to 75, we moved him 100. We knew about the distance he was going to be hunting out of the blind. Oh, the fun thing about it, we've always had a camper that we'd have it leave at camp, but Mom and Dad are getting into it, so they actually brought their RV. When you get the whole family involved and stuff like that, it makes it even that much more better.
What are we about to do?
We're gonna go hunting today.
So this is your very first deer hunt? Show me your hat. Can you read it to me?
First deer hunt 2018. Dayton. It's Nana.
Is she a deer hunter too?
Yes.
I'm thrilled to get to be with you on your first hunt.
I'd actually made the ground blind out of some cattle panels and T-posts and brushed it in with mesquite. It was large enough for 4 people to sit in there. I'd even taken him during the summertime and practiced out of this blind. So when we walk in the morning, he knows what to wear. It's nothing new as soon as the sun comes up. So he'd actually had practiced out of the blind. It didn't take long before the does started coming in and such like that. And we had a couple little bucks on him that we were really wanting him to take. And with most kids, with no attention span, I took stuff like notebook papers and crayons and markers, maybe a board game, something not electronic. At times we were sitting in the blind and he was tired of writing on paper and he's like, I want to do something. I was like, color on the blind. So now I have murals all in my tower blind from Dayton. So he colored on the walls for 2 hours. And every time I go sit in the blind, I get to see that. luckily enough, we had one of the oddball spikes come in. So that was one of his hit list deer. I think he probably was the first one to see it walk in from the side. So he was all about it, daddy, 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 and then trying to hold him down and keep him from moving in my lap and helping him steady himself and not get excited. But he, you know, it didn't take long. The buck came in, kind of pushed the does out like they always do, and he was ready to shoot. So it was a lot of fun. He didn't want to waste any time, that's for sure. Dayton made a not so favorable shot. We knew it was a liver shot. The deer hunched up and, you know, slowly made his way through and out. He wasn't in a great position for another shot. We packed up and got out of there as soon as we lost visual of him. And then with the new rules with the tracking dogs, we actually made a phone call and let them know what was going on, and they were in full force. It didn't take them long at all to find it. I mean, we knew kind of where the deer was going, and we were right. But you know, why not use a dog? This is a new law, and let's take advantage of it. Not worry about jumping a deer and running one off, and it worked out great. It was interesting to watch the dogs, and I actually am training my own tracking dog now. So just because, why not? Why, if it's legal, then take advantage of it and use it.
Look,
Get him?
one, a little horn, and a big horn.
Yeah. See? Little spike. Good job. High five. Good job. You gonna drag him back to the truck?
No, you.
I get to.
Well, I want somebody to both.
You want some help? Well, I'll get the big one, you get the little one.
No.
No, you get the big one.
Hey.
He's helping. You ready?
Big, that's his reward, bud.
Yep, that's his reward. All right.
He's a very big deer.
The dog's helping us. Almost there where we get the Land Rover. When Dayton was born, I had something that I wanted to do. And I was kind of leery to ask the doctors because I didn't want them to think that I was too redneck. But I actually have some really cool knives that I hunted with and I'd had for quite a while, and I wanted to actually cut his umbilical cord with it. And I was kind of hesitant with the doctor, but then she turned around and said, well, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. So that's the cool thing about it is I had that knife and I put it away for 8 years in the safe. And when he killed his first deer, he got to help try and get this deer with the knife that I used when he was born and gave him to him, cutting his umbilical cord. I think it's important for them to learn what the outdoors are about. Whether they decide, hey, this is what I want to do or not, you know, they have to have some knowledge of it, and you know, you can't force them into it, and you just hope that they're going to take it and run with it. And Dayton's done that. I mean, it's nonstop. Every time we go to the property and fill feeders or check cameras, are we going to hunt? Do we get to shoot? Do we get to do that? No, Dayton. When's deer season? Oh, this date, this date, this date. That's right. You know, I never really forced him into it, but he saw, you know, where are you going? You brought this deer back. Where are you going? What did you do? And when they show that interest, that's the best time to start. And just take them and just go. So, you know, they're never going to sit still. They're never going to be quiet. I've tried paper and crayons, board games, little stuff, and, you know, you're going to make noise. It's hard for us that are so used to making no noise for 5 hours at a time to sit back and let them learn. So that's the hard part on the dad side, is trying not to be too critical.